Myanmar and welcome to Myanmar Today. I'm Henry Zin. Here are the latest news and reports. First one on the 14th Conference of Myanmar Health Assistant Association. Next on tens of thousands celebrating New Year's Eve. Story coverage on 2020 stock market looking positive. Now before we get to the reports, why don't we have a look at what's happening in local news. Yangon Region Government is organizing the 3-day Damat ceremony at the People's Park near Shwedagon Pagoda in Yangon on Wednesday evening to welcome the new year. Bamor Sayadaw Dr. Badana Kumara Bivamsa delivered a sermon on the first day of the event. The Sayadaw also donated replicas of 5 hair relics and 4 tooth relics of the Buddha and 6 pagoda statuettes by drawing lots to the audience. Yangon Region Chief Minister U Phyomin Thein and officials presented a mosaic painting and the paintings of Buddha Gaya donated by Visakha Foundation and Le Chontu Foundation to the Sayadaw. An estimated number of over 80,000 people attended the New Year's Damat ceremony on the first night. Rector of Sitagu World Buddhist University and Abhidhamma University, Dr. Badana Nandamala Bivamsa, and Chancellor of Sitagu International Buddhist Academies, Sayadaw, Dr. Ashin Yanesara, will deliver sermons on the 2nd and 3rd of January, respectively. Union Minister for Information Dr. Phay Min gave awards to the winners at the photo and postcard contests organized by the Information and Public Relations Department under the title of Value of State, Prestige of Nationality. Dr. Phay Min said the Ministry of Information is organizing photo and postcard contests annually to mark the Independence Day, and the 72nd anniversary will fall on 4th of January. The event was aimed to convey messages through photos and postcards on distinguished historical traditions of the country, cultural heritages and customary practices of each nationality, unveiling unity, peace and tranquility, historic sites, natural beauties, happiness and freedom in the country. Union Minister for Education Dr. Myo Thainji joined a campaign of collecting garbage in Lion campus of Yangon University and Yangon University of Economics on Wednesday. The Union Minister emphasized the motto of "We clean, we educate, we change" for this year, as a clean environment could develop a pleasant feeling and mental strength. The campaign was also joined by rectors, pro-rectors, teachers and students. They also conducted garbage collecting campaigns at the Yangon University in 2018 and Zero Mile Post of Yangon-Mandalay Highway last year. The Nepalese embassy in Yangon celebrated the 60th anniversary of diplomatic relations between Nepal and Myanmar and the launch of Visit Nepal 2020 at the Chandaji Hall of the Shwedagon Pagoda on Wednesday evening. Nepalese ambassador Mr. Bim K. Udas highlighted the strength of the two countries' relations, stretching back to the time of Buddha, who was born in Nepal. The ambassador also promoted the State Councillor's book on Nepal, published in 1983, which encourages people to visit Nepal. Yangon Region Chief Minister U Phyomin Thein also graced the event and called for greater efforts to welcome more visitors to Nepal. Some 60,000 Myanmar tourists visited Nepal last year. Yangon Region Chief Minister U Phyomin Thein said Yangon bus service vehicles operated in the Yangon region will be standardized, and non-standardized vehicles will no longer be permitted to operate in the region. YBS, formerly All Private Bus Lines Control Committee, will celebrate its 3rd anniversary on January 16th. The Yangon Region Transport Authority will issue marking tables for YBS services on 16th of January, identifying strengths and weaknesses at the company. Over 100 bus lines are in operation, with 4,500 buses taking some 135 routes, in addition to airport shuttle and city transit routes. The number of daily commuters is estimated at 1.8 million. But that's all with the local news, and here's the first report on Myanmar Today. The 14th Conference of Myanmar Health Assistant Association was held on 28th of December at the University of Nursing in Yangon with the aim to strengthen the association. This association mainly works in providing healthcare service to the remote areas where the public have very little access to healthcare services. Williamson reports.
Myanmar Health Assistant Association is an organization formed with the collaboration of the Ministry of Health and Sports, together with several other partners, with the aim to provide healthcare service to some of the hard-to-reach areas across Myanmar. This association has over 500 staff, 13 projects in 89 townships of 10 states and regions. It mainly provides a healthcare service to remote areas where the public have very little access to healthcare service, with a budget of more than 10 billion kyats. One of the important projects for the year 2019 is the association was able to provide healthcare service to children under the age of 5, numbering more than 1,400, along with more than 300 pregnant women. But MHAA now faces one of the hardest challenges in northern Rakhine, where 285 children from the age of 59 months and 6 years old face severe malnutrition. And the situation is getting worsened day by day. Therefore, the association has to accelerate its healthcare service to these areas voluntarily. The 14th conference of Myanmar Healthcare Assistants Association was held on 28th of December at University of Nursing in Yangon, and speaking at the 14th conference of MHAA, Dr. Myanmar Today Union Minister for the Ministry of Health and Sports said,
roadmap framework in order to provide the best service to the public, we cannot just write down on the papers or only speak about it. We must be practical and active with our goal and target. Then only we provide effective and useful healthcare service to the public. This is the time we must be practical, which is why whenever I give a speech, I make sure that most of what I speak are what really is going in outside. If we are to carefully provide healthcare service to the public, then we can prevent some of the major diseases in Myanmar, which are very much common among the patients in Myanmar. Most of the diseases which occur to the patients in our nation are mostly preventable, and if we carry out all the projects carefully, then I am sure we can prevent big number of sicknesses in our nation.
Speaking to the media on the future plan of MHAA, Twin, the chairman of MHAA, also explains.
With the collaboration of the Ministry of Health and Sports and MHAA, we are working on bringing up the volunteers where there is so much of population density. These volunteers are helping the public by spreading the awareness on the symptoms of diseases. At the same time, these volunteers also provide free medical checkup and free healthcare service in these areas. In some areas, we even provide transportation fare for the comers so that they can come for medical checkup. We know that the earlier we diagnose the disease, the higher percentage of complete cure we have, or if not, effective medical treatment.
This conference is where all the members from all over Myanmar have a chance to discuss the challenges they face while serving the public. Mantla A is a representative of Bating Township for MHAA, and speaking to MI Radio on the challenge he faces while serving, he said,
For
MHAA to be able to provide healthcare service to the public effectively, we need to be a strong and resourceful association where there is unity, and therefore I believe that this association needs to talk about stronger policy making, rules and regulations for the proper establishment of the association.
That's a report on the 14th conference of Myanmar Health Assistant Association. Alright, it's time now to check on the weather forecasts in Myanmar. It's a nice weather with plenty of sunshine, but air quality will be unhealthy for sensitive groups during the day. Expect highest temperature of 33 degrees Celsius and the lowest of 20 degrees Celsius. In Naypyidaw, a pleasant weather with sunshine and patchy clouds during the day. Expect highest temperature of 31 degrees Celsius and the lowest of 18 degrees Celsius. In Mandalay, also a pleasant weather with a blend of sun and clouds during the day. Expect highest temperature of 27 degrees Celsius and the lowest of 18 degrees Celsius. Quite the condition for the night time, humid with plenty of clouds, occasional rain and a thunderstorm of late. Well, we have another report coming up, and then we'll check on the stocks and currency exchange rates. Myanmar joined the world to celebrate the start of another year or another decade. Tens of thousands flocked to the places where they welcomed the new year with a variety of activities. The report highlights the activities in downtown Yangon and the countdown show at Chaikasan event venue. Agajo has the details.
Goodbye to 2019, the end of a decade, and hello to 2020, the beginning of another decade. Myanmar joined the world to celebrate the start of another year or another decade. Tens of thousands flocked to the places where they will welcome the new year with a variety of activities. In Yangon, countdown music shows and religious events are held every year to welcome a new year. Let us see how the commercial city Yangon joins in welcoming a great year.
At New Year time, we usually eat grilled fish at home with family and hang out with them. Now I'm with my friend to relax and take photos at the park. We came from other parts of the country to walk here in Yangon. So I wish everyone, including us, to have a good walk in 2020.
Now I am here with my kid and family to enjoy New Year countdown. I usually stay at home to enjoy New Year with barbecue and watch TV. But this year I happen to go out and enjoy it here at the park.
The New Year countdown music shows are grand and hectic with fun and substantial number of partycomers join. Famous singers and bands flock there to best entertain the visitors. The most crowded places during the hectic hours include downtown Yangon, People's Square, and Chaikasan event venue.
Celebrating first in the park, then we're going to the restaurant. I'm with my family, my sister, my dad and my mom. We usually go to another country.
I come from Chin State. As I'm Christian, we would go to church and spend time there when I was in Chin State. Now I am with friends here. We will hang out around downtown area and wait for the countdown.
December 31st is the day when people around the world celebrate the end of old year and welcome the new year. This is not Myanmar's traditional New Year occasion. It is adopted. Myanmar traditional New Year celebration takes place 3 months later in April. At the time, people welcome the new year with a significant festival called Dinjan, or the Water Festival. This is Agajo reporting for Myanmar International Radio.
That's a report on tens of thousands celebrating New Year's Eve. And now we have an information on currency rates from Myanmar's central bank. $1 is at 1,479 Jats. 1 Chinese renminbi is at 211 Jats. 1 euro is at 1,656 Jats. 1 pound sterling is at 1,937 Jats. 1 Singapore dollar is at 1,096 Jats. 1 Malaysian ringgit is at 360 Jats. 1 Thai baht is at 49 Jats, and the Indian rupee is at 20 Jats. Gold is trading at $1,520. Silver is at $17, and Brent crude oil is at $61. On the Yangon Stock Exchange, FMI is at 11,000. MTSH remains at 3,850. MCB is at 8,200. FPB remains at 23,000. TMH is at 2,900. You're with MI Radio's Myanmar Today. You can log on to our website at miradio.com.mm and catch many other great programs of MI Radio on the website. We're also running on 96.1 FM in Yangon, 96.5 in Manali, and 96.7 in Naypyidaw. Alternatively, you can download our app on both iOS and Android platforms. It's easy to search. Just type in Myanmar INTL Radio and you'll find the app. Download it on your devices so you can listen to our radio programs on the go. Stay with us as we bring you more reports on Myanmar Today. Yangon Stock Exchange expects more positive market in 2020 with more companies preparing to become listed and more policy to be put in place. The stock market struggled over the past few months with a policy framework pending to allow foreign participation. Agajo reports.
Yangon Stock Exchange expects the more positive market in 2020 with more companies preparing to become listed and more policies to be put in place. Despite the ambitious positive forecast for 2020, stock market on YSX saw a 20% dive in December. That was another 10% drop from October. In December, over 121,285 shares were traded in normal trading. In block trading, 70,000 shares were traded. So in total, shares worth of over 794 million jets were traded. Utatong U, Yangon Stock Exchange Executive Senior Manager, said.
In normal trading, over 127,285 shares were traded in October. In block trading, 70,000 shares were traded, so in total, shares worth over 794 million jets were traded. So we saw a 20% dip in stock trading in December. This is because in September and October, the listed companies were giving dividend, and so the trading soared. But in October, as there is no special phenomenon going on, the trading went back to normality. This results in 10% drop. MTSH is still leading listed company in terms of the shares traded.
In 2020, about 3 companies are expected to be listed on YSX, and the foreign participation will be effective starting early 2020. Moreover, the corporate governance code will come out. The foreigners will be permitted to invest in shares on YSX. The foreigners will be permitted to invest up to 35% of the shares of the YSX listed companies.
As a first phase, the stock will be traded to the foreigners living in the country. We are now waiting for the notification, which will be published by Security Exchange Committee. In order to boost the foreign investment, foreigners allowed to directly invest in the shares of stock on Yangon Stock Exchange. We recently published the framework and schedule to assist the move. We have been preparing the process since the notification allowing the foreigners to invest came out. The FS was supposed to be effective starting from November 2019, and the foreigners will be able to start investing at the time. But due to some reason, the FS is not out yet, and I think it will be out by early 2020. Some foreigners investors are now inquiring the information at the respective securities in the meantime.
The percentage of the foreign participation each listed company allows will be managed by YSX and respective securities houses. He also added that the number of foreigners living in Myanmar is still low. It is not sure how big of an impact this will bring to the stock market. The interested foreign investors are advised to scrutinize the information uploaded on YSX's website. Yangon Stock Exchange is currently trading the stock shares of the 5 companies. They are First Myanmar Investment Public Company Limited, Myanmar Tilwa Assisted Holdings Public Limited, Myanmar Citizens Bank Limited, First Private Bank Limited, and TMH Telecom Public Company Limited. In 1996, Myanmar Economic Bank and Daiwan Institute of Research Limited formed the Myanmar Securities Exchange Center with the final goal of establishing a stock exchange. This is Agajo reporting for Myanmar International Radio.
That's a report on 2020 stock market looking positive. Well, that's all the reports on Myanmar Today. Time to look at the world through the international landscape now. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres on Wednesday urged the Democratic People's Republic of Korea not to resume the nuclear and missile tests, said his spokesman. Spokesman Stefan Dujarric said the Secretary-General is deeply concerned by the statement of the DPRK, which has indicated the end of a moratorium on nuclear and missile tests. Dujarric said the UN chief, quote, very much hopes that the tests will not resume, in line with relevant Security Council resolutions, adding that non-proliferation remains a fundamental pillar of global nuclear security and must be preserved. Guterres supports the resumption of a dialogue that will lead to complete and verifiable denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula. Diplomatic engagement is the only pathway to sustainable peace. In other news, thousands of tourists have been given less than 48 hours to evacuate fire-ravaged coastal communities as Australia braces for a heat wave on Saturday expected to fan deadly bushfires. Catastrophic blazes ripped through swaths of the continent's southeast on New Year's Eve, killing at least 8 people and stranding holidaymakers as seaside towns were ringed by flames. The New South Wales Rural Fire Service on Thursday morning declared a tourist leave zone stretching about 200 kilometers from the popular holiday spot of Batemans Bay along the usually picturesque southeastern coast to neighbouring Victoria State, where people are also being urged to evacuate fire-threatened areas. Visitors are being warned to leave before Saturday, which is forecast to bring gusting winds and temperatures soaring above 40 degrees Celsius. In the center of bustling and busy Barcelona, there is unusual quiet, just the babble of children playing in a small playground and the sound of birds. There is virtually no traffic, and the space where cars would have parked is given over to play areas, trees, and even a running track. Superblocks is a radical plan to reclaim the streets from the noise and pollution of traffic, one that could save hundreds of lives that might otherwise be lost because of heavily polluted air. It also hopes to act as a blueprint for other cities. There are just 6 superblocks so far, but Barcelona plans hundreds of others. They are made up of 9 existing blocks which are joined together into an area which bans all but essential vehicles, which are limited to 10 kilometers per hour. Parking for residents is underground. Some residents are opposed to the plan either because they want to have their cars outside their homes or because they run local businesses and feel that trade will be affected by cutting off traffic flow. But the idea is proving popular with other cities such as Seattle, which is considering introducing something similar. Well, that's a wrap, and thanks for joining me on Myanmar Today. I'm Henry Zin. We'll catch up again. Bye-bye now.